Well, the more we learn, the more we realize how fundamentally corrupt this action is. It has nothing to do with Venezuelan people because it appears as if they are leaving Maduro's party in charge. The repression will continue. It has nothing to do with drugs coming to the United States because Venezuela wasn't sending drugs to the United States. They were sending drugs to Europe. Increasingly, Donald Trump is saying out loud that it's just about the oil. Right? He just wants his rich oil industry friends, who he promised to help in exchange for $1 billion contribution to his campaign, to have access to Venezuelan oil. That's going to make people in this country absolutely furious. And they're already pretty mad that their insurance premiums are going up, that food's more expensive. Now they're finding out that their taxpayer dollars are being used to fund an invasion that seems to be simply about getting Trump's oil industry friends richer. I've never seen anything like this. Whenever under previous presidents there was a major military action overseas, there was an immediate briefing for all senators and all members of Congress. The contempt that this administration has for the American people, I mean, that's what this is. When you refuse to brief Congress, you're not briefing the American people's duly elected representatives. Is pretty stunning. I think they just don't want to answer questions. I think, they've now purged the Pentagon of any legitimate reporters. They don't brief Congress. They basically are just putting themselves in a position where they don't actually have to defend this because the more we learn, it seems pretty indefensible. I think there's a lot of reasons for what happened in Venezuela. He's putting his oil industry friends first, but it's also an effort to distract folks from the Epstein files, from the economy that's a nightmare for a lot of families. This is a tried and true tactic. Stir up unrest somewhere in the world in order to get the cameras to stop paying attention to the crisis that families are facing here at home. And that's an element of what's going on here. All right, I got to run, guys. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Under the Biden administration, they should have taken stronger action when the Venezuelan people overwhelmingly voted against Maduro in 2024. But simply saying now, we're going to run it based upon a fleet offshore, I have no idea what that looks like. And the idea that somehow the Venezuelan oil is going to pay for this operation, that was the exact same argument used in Iraq. That didn't come to pass. And my understanding is the Venezuelan oil operations, they used to contribute 4 million barrels a day to the world supply. It's down to about 1 million. The operation has become so decrepit, it would literally take years to rebuild it. Does that mean America's committed for years to running Venezuela? We need to do what's good for America, but we also, we want a stable region. And if we simply add more chaos in Venezuela, that is going to potentially lead to even further migration, more pressure on our own border, more pressure on the millions of Venezuelans that have gone to countries like Chile and Peru already. So where's the plan? Maybe I'll get some answers this afternoon.
What about the War Powers Act? What can Congress do?
Listen, I will be supporting Senator Kane's effort on the War Powers Act. It'll be curious to see whether my Republican friends, who I know care about our country as well, are they going to finally find the courage to do their job? So far they haven't. They'll get another chance this week.
Senator, what is the recourse if the War Powers Act?
Jelajahi cara baru mendapatkan informasi. Download MetroTV Extend sekarang.